Hello creators and creative friends. If you've been using Flux.2 Klein for a while, you might be noticing something frustrating. It often gives you better results when you feed it multiple reference images. Let me show you what I mean. In this workflow, I'm using only 3 reference images. These nodes over here are bypassed, so they are not doing anything. Even so, you can still spot some errors in the output image. That's not great, right? So in today's video, let's talk about how to get better results when you are working with multiple reference images. I also share a custom node that can stitch multiple images into one. We'll test it together and see if it actually helps. If you have better ideas, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear them. And if you want to download the workflow for free, you can find it through the link in the description below. So this node is called Klein RefGrid, and it offers a solution to fix those errors. You can search for configure Klein RefGrid in the configure manager to install it. Fair warning though, it's pretty new. It hasn't been implemented into Running Hub yet. That's why I'm using the official configure for this demo instead of Running Hub. Now take a look here. The node has stitched 2 images together, but there's a lot of extra black space. That's because this node is designed to take up to 4 reference images and turn them into a 2x2 stitched grid. Then that stitched image gets injected as reference latents into the conditioning string for the Flux.2 Klein 9B model. For this test, my prompt is woman wearing dress standing in a tropical resort walkway. Basically, I'm asking Flux.2 Klein to combine elements from these images. So here's the output image. This one is based on only 2 reference images. And the output image above it is based on only 3 reference images. Let's put them side by side and compare. You can see that the Flux.2 Klein RefGrid node does help fix errors and improve consistency. But remember, this workflow only uses 3 reference images because I bypassed those other nodes. Now let's kick things up a notch. Here's another workflow that uses 5 reference images. In this example, the prompt is woman wearing printed t-shirt, floral skirt and handbag standing on a short staircase. And these are the 5 reference images I'm feeding it. If you've been using Flux.2 Klein for a while, you probably know this already. The more reference images you use, the harder it gets to pull out for satisfactory results. That's exactly why the Flux.2 Klein RefGrid node stitches all the reference images together except the first one. Now the stitched image shows up as a 2x2 grid. Every grid section gets normalized to a fixed 1000 by 1000 tile. So technically, this counts as just one reference image. Here's the thing though, the main image isn't really about this clothes and this background. It's the portrait of the woman that matters most. So the big question is, can the Flux.2 Klein RefGrid node actually improve our odds of combining so many elements from these images? Let's check out the comparison images and find out. The image on the right is the result from the RefGrid node. The clothes and handbag look fine, but the face and background don't quite match the original references. Let's look at another example. This time, the reference images are completely different from before. Let's see how that comparison turns out. Now the face is more consistent, but the background changed quite a bit, so it's a bit of a trade-off. But here's the interesting part. Sometimes using the RefGrid node is way better than not using it at all. Let me show you this example. These are the reference images. These 2 headshots belong to the same woman in this portrait. And this is what the RefGrid node stitched together for us. Now let's look at the comparison images. As you can see, Flux.2 Klein made some real mistakes when they tried to combine these elements in the left image. But here's the thing, it's not actually because of too many reference images. In our last example, we also had 5 reference images. Flux.2 Klein handled that one just fine. Let me prove it to you with the next example. In this case, there were only 3 reference images because I bypassed these 2 load image nodes. And here's the output image. Surprisingly, Flux.2 Klein still messed up the anatomy. Compare that to the image on the right. It's better even though it lost some consistency. It got help from a rough grid node which stitched these two images together. So after tons of testing, here's what I found. The number of reference images doesn't actually matter that much. Flux.2 Klein has its own logic for combining different elements. If you follow this logic, you can get what you want. Go against it, and you will lose consistency or end up with bad results. With the help of the rough grid node, the consistency might not be perfect, but you have less chance of getting weird results or anatomy errors. You can also choose not to use the rough grid node for stitching images. Let me show you another example. These are the three reference images. The prompt is woman wearing t-shirt and shorts, standing on a short staircase. I used the built-in image stitch node to stitch these two images together. This one comes standard with Conf UI. I also threw in a rough grid node here for comparison. Let's see how the output images look. I think the image on the left has better face consistency. So if you're only stitching two images, maybe you don't need the rough grid node at all. Food for thought. Alright, that's everything for this video. If you want to download the workflow, you can grab the link in the video description below. If you want to support this channel, feel free to join our community. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.